Welcome to the 24th Annual Children of Promise Conference. My name is Sharon Saffold, and I am the president of the Sacramento chapter of the Black Child Development Institute. We are excited to provide you with information and resources to support you in raising children of promise. This year's theme is Building Community. We all have heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, today you will receive information from many of the community village organizations providing services to the greater Sacramento community. They are committed to the 8 essential outcomes that drives BCDI's vision. They include children live and play in a safe community. Babies are born at a healthy weight. Children attend a school that affirms and expands them. Children are seen as children. Children enjoy healthy meals with vegetables and fruits. Children breathe clean air and drink clean water. Children have books and toys that reflect who they are and can be. And children hang out on a safe and appropriate internet. Get ready to be informed and equipped to raise children of promise. As many of you know, the Children of Promise Conference is the vision of the late, great Miss Tommy Whitlow. Miss Whitlow envisioned a place where parents could receive information, resources, and assistance to equip them to raise their children to their full potential. She believed every child would succeed. Please join us in this time of reflection and remembrance of Miss Tommy Whitlow.
This is the day that the Lord has made. For the Sacramento Valley section of the National Council of Negro Women to present to you the 21st Annual Children of Promise Conference, Fulfilling Our Dreams for the Future. You know that Maya Angelou said, bringing the gifts our ancestors gave. We are the hope and the dream of the slave. Certainly we are the dream of those who could not be here today, those who could not raise children of promise, but they did their best. And I want you to know that today we have an awesome program for you. But like anything,
Well, that was the last Children of Promise that Miss Tommy attended. She was determined to be a part of that conference, even while she battled her health issues. And you can see the happiness in her face to be able to speak about her baby, the Children of Promise. And we are honored to carry on her legacy. Miss Tommy Whitlow never started a Children of Promise conference without prayer. So we carry on that legacy also. So please, I will start us in prayer. Father God, we just thank you and praise you for 24 years of the Children of Promise Conference, equipping parents and caregivers and neighbors and foster parents and those who touch the lives of children with information and resources and assistance. We thank you and praise you, Father God, for all that you've blessed the Children of Promise with. As Marie Napper always says, the Lord loves the Children of Promise. Father God, we ask that you bless this conference. We lift up every speaker that will be speaking. We thank you and praise you for the knowledge and information that they will share will be appropriate for those that are in attendance. We thank you that all of our technical and videos will work as you have designed them to work. We come against any malfunctioning of the systems. We thank you and praise you, Father God, for the parents and grandparents and neighbors and caregivers who are listening in. We thank you and praise you that they are equipped to pour into the lives of their children and their nieces and nephews and grandchildren. We thank you and praise you that they don't get weary in well doing, because they know in the end they're going to see the fruit of their labor. We just pray a hedge of protection over our children. We say no weapon formed against them shall prosper. We thank you that our children will be able to flourish and will be able to dream dreams and envision their lives even better than ours. We just ask that you continue to bless the children of promise, continue to give us what we need to be able to speak into the lives of every child that we meet. You be glorified now in Jesus' name, amen. And it is my pleasure now to introduce the MC for this year's Children of Promise. Ms. Dale Sales Owen is a retired administrator with over 30 years of service with the state of California. Her last position was Director of Community Partnerships with the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. She held many positions while with the state, but Health and Human Services was her mission. Since retiring over 15 years ago, she has served on the volunteer boards of the Executive Women's Golf Association, Sacramento chapter, and the Center for Community Health and Well-Being Incorporated. Dale Sales Owens is proud to be a life member of the Sacramento Valley section of the National Council of Negro Women. She was the tournament planning director for the section's charity golf tournament, Swing for the Kids, and moderated the annual Children of Promise conference on several occasions. She is committed to empowering parents. She now volunteers with the of the National Black Child Development Institute in its sponsorship of the Children of Promise Conference. Please join me in welcoming our MC for today, Ms. Dale Sales Owen.
Thank you, Sharon, for such a warm welcome. I am delighted to be a part of this event today. You have in store for you a great morning, and it's going to be filled with lots of great speakers and spotlighting many outstanding resources for you. I do have a little housekeeping business to tend to. First of all, we want to know who has joined us for this special event. Can you please share your name and where you're viewing from in the chat area? And it also would be nice if you could just click like, love, or share for this site. We also want you to know that if you have a specific question, you'll also be able to put the questions in the chat area. And time permitting, the speakers will try to address your questions. Otherwise, you can always make sure you deliver your questions via email, and that will be posted on the screen hopefully soon, and we will respond to you at a later date. Next, you could be a winner of a door prize today. To show our appreciation for your attendance, we are holding 4 door prize sessions. The times are 10:24, 10:52, 11:20, and 11:47. Those who have signed in today will be eligible to receive one of the monetary gifts provided by our sponsors and underwriters. The winners will be announced online today, so make sure you stay tuned. You must be present and call us to claim your prize before the end of this conference. And the number to call if you're a winner is 510-914-8320. And that should appear right on your screen. So we'll keep reminding you of that. And our wonderful, wonderful gang sponsor, Kathy Wilson. She is a Children of Promise Committee member, and she will start the first door prize session after the first presentation, and that will be about 10:24. Now, let the speaking begin. I am going to start with a couple of speakers that have some wonderful things to share. They both are involved with the Soho Museum. The first is Mr. William McDaniels. He is president of the Sojourner Truth African Heritage Museum, aka Soho, and he is head of the board of directors. He also is a California State Correctional Officer for 30 years and is now retired. Mr. McDaniels is the executive director of the Andre Morris Foundation, a nonprofit formed with community correctional officers of color. The second speaker will be Dale F. Morris. He is vice chair of the Soho Board of Directors. He is also the director of Troner Consulting Services Incorporated. Dale is an expert with over 30 years of experience in construction management. He is experienced in CPM scheduling, claims analysis, risk analysis, earned value analysis, and training. So please welcome them to be the deliverers of your first speech today, discussing the Soho Museum.
Good morning, Dale. William should be joining us shortly, but meanwhile, I'll go ahead and get started. We definitely are appreciative of the Black Children's Organization Black Child Development Institute giving us this opportunity to speak and talk a little bit about the museum. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. And I'm attempting to share my screen. Okay, first of all, the Sojourner Truth Museum, better known as Sojo, is based on the life of Sojourner Truth. Miss Truth was born a slave, and she dedicated her life to advocating for abolitionist programs, women's rights, nonviolence, and civil and economic advancements for oppressed people. Our mission here at the museum is to open minds and change lives by exploring and celebrating the African American history, the experience and cultures through the art, education, and outreach. Our vision is of a world in which the adversity and achievement of African American history inspires everyone towards a greater understanding of acceptance and unity. Now, the museum is located in South Sacramento. It's in City Council District 5, and we offer a number of art educational programs for many schools in this district and beyond. And we also serve Sacramento City, county regions, and Northern California. And we are recognized by the Institute of Museum and Library Services, Sacramento Area Museums, and the African American Museum Alliance. Our board, as Dale said earlier, William Daniels, he's the chair. I am the vice chair. Bobby Waters is our treasurer. Marquise Marsalis is the secretary, and Constance Arnak, she's our senior volunteer coordinator. The team at the museum, Shona McDaniels is the executive director. Renee West, administrative. Taylor Pennell is our arts interpersonal program assistant. Judah is a senior docent. Ali Robinson, she basically manages the museum. Alpha Burton and Daphne Burgess Bowen, they are our consultants. They are pretty much our grant writers. Aisha Ladon, she's an archivist. And then Harley White the third, he is one of our instructors when we run some of our youth programs. And Nia Moon, she does special events for us. Generally, one of her skill sets is to dress up and act like Sojourner Truth at various events for us. So again, we have one full-time staff member, and we serve on average about 20,000 participants annually through our art programs, events, wellness programs, mentorships, internships, in person and virtually. We have various programs that we run. We average about 50 volunteers throughout the year, and you may have joined us at our Banana Fest that was this past summer, but we generally get around 200 volunteers for that. We also serve free meals to an average of 600 people a month during our youth pop-ups. And those pop-up events occur at the museum on Fridays and Saturdays. 69% of the museum visitors receive information via word of mouth, 62% from our social media outlets, and about 38% from our website. So it's very important as we're talking about building community, that the community is aware and knows about the museum, because again, our goal is to teach the community as well as the Sacramento metro area about African American history and all that we've done here to make the world, not only the country a better place, but the world a better place. Again, the families we serve primarily are from the Sacramento Unified School District. 20.4% of the Sacramento School District youth are the students in the district. They're English learners. 2/3 of the students qualify for free or reduced lunches. And youth make up about 70% of our volunteers. Now, 50% of the museum visitors attend the youth pop-ups, and 64 participate in in lectures, performances, or the events that occur at the African Market, which is located at 24th and Florin, where the museum is located. 85% of museum visitors are African American, and then 31% are between 40 and 54 years old. So with regard to a lot of other youth programs that we run, the goal of our programs are to nurture and to develop future art advocates, as well as individuals tapping into their artistic ability. We also believe that our youth, if we can train our youth to be more business oriented, think about being entrepreneurs. We give them an opportunity for business development, again, to take some of their ideas and kind of walk them out as to see if if they can make money, it is going to be a viable business. Financial literacy, again, learning about banking, finances, credit, and other skills. So that's one of our youth entrepreneur program. With regards to our youth pop-ups, the youth help facilitate the pop-up events. Again, it's the second Saturday, some are on Fridays, others the ones on Saturday, usually in the second Saturday. And they receive a stipend for their service. And so basically the idea is to get the youth engaged in partnering and to participate. Our DOCIT program, in which one we implement in 2021, this one trains youth ages 14 to 24 to be museum interns, to be able to do various services and event support. So it works out really, really well. Creative placemaking in our community. One of the things that we found is art and culture have been increasingly attributed to transform neighborhood, social, economic, and physical environments. Everyone has some art talent. And again, we try to tap into that to bring into the unity, as well as individuals coming into the museum to, again, learn as much as they possibly can about your history. Because we feel that if you understand who you are and where you come from, there's a lot of things that will change what you do. Because again, you take a sense of pride in who you are from basing your ancestors. One of the things that we believe is art is a very powerful tool for building community, enhancing livability for all. and that as we collaborate with the school and organizations, library, and businesses, we feel like we can just be very transformative, and all those things will come true. Other our programs through classes, workshop, and cultural events. We value art education, diversity, culture, and access to health resources as essential for youth and families. We support local artists. We enhance the roles of art and culture in improving, again, livability. And we provide activities that increase career paths through leadership, communication, and creative problem solving. We have this growing collection, most of which is donated by artists, businesses, and others that are promised gifts from collectors of African art. We have a 2,000 square foot mural that runs along the wall. We have books, we have over 300 dolls, prints, quilts. We have various kind of slave documents, artifacts, again, to teach not only post or pre-slavery, but also post-slavery as, again, what we have as a people been able to do to overcome some of the things that have kind of hindered our community from truly being our best at times. But again, once we know where we come from, we feel that that knowledge of who you are will, again, make you a better person, make you a better community in the long run. Some of our sponsors, the California Art Council, the California Cultural and Historic Endowment. We just have a host of, again, various supporters, SMUD, that help us in our achieving our vision. And at the end, in conclusion, the museum, again, is just thrilled to be part of today's conference, as well as just having the opportunity to tell you about our services. And we hope that you'll come and visit the museum and participate in our programs. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Kathy Wilson, and I will be on your door prize patrol this morning. We are going to go ahead and spin the wheel for 3 door prizes today. I'm going to go ahead and present so that you can see. Oh, maybe I don't have to. Nope. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and spin my wheel, and I'll let you know if you won or not. All right, so here we go. Hey, Chandra Shaw, you are our first winner. Sorry, Chandra, if you could go ahead and give me a call at the phone number, or on the, either text me or the phone number on the screen. I just need your email address. I would appreciate it. All right, let me go ahead and get our next winner. And our next winner is Tavaria Wiley. If you could go ahead, Tavaria Wiley, and give me a call. You are a second winner right now. We will have one more, and then we'll come back 2 other times. So let me go ahead and let's get our next winner. Our next winner is Karen Kalu. Karen Kalu. So if you could go ahead and call me or text me with your email address, and on at that phone number right there across the screen, I can go ahead and send you your gift card for Amazon. All right. And all right, we'll be going on with our program. Thank you all so much.
Hello, and welcome back to our program. And thank you, Kathy, for making our winners pretty excited people. I want to first thank Dale for pinch hitting. He was supposed to be joined by a colleague, but he carried the whole show and did a wonderful job. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. James Whitlock, and he is from the Mutual Assistance Network. Mr. Whitlock is a program manager for Healing the Hood. He is also a crisis responder and intervention specialist for the network. The Mutual Assistance Network works to strengthen the existing social and economic infrastructure of the North Sacramento region. So please welcome Mr. Whitlock.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I would like to thank the Black Child Development Institute for getting us all together on here to talk about the amazing work that's being done in our communities. So as she stated, I work for Mutual Assistance Network. It's a community-based organization, community-led organization that strives to strengthen the families and youth that we serve. We have 3 locations. We have an office at the Marconi the Arden Community Center on Marconi Avenue. We also operate out of the old firehouse on Grand Avenue. And then we also have the lease and run programs out of the Robinson Center on Norwood Avenue, all in North Sacramento, Arden Arcade, Del Paso Heights. A little bit about mutual assistance. We strive to be culturally responsive with our staff, with the curriculums that we run and we put on. So it's a few things that we do. We have a lot of different programs. So you'll have to go on our website to really see all the work that we're doing at these different sites. But a lot of it is around court-approved parenting classes, court-approved anger management classes. We do Safe Sleep Baby. We work with families from 0 to 5. And as it relates to my work for Mutual Assistance Network, I actually, as she stated, I'm the program manager for our Healing the Hood program. The Healing the Hood program derives from the Black Child Legacy Campaign. The Black Child Legacy Campaign, for anyone who is not aware of it, they did the Child Death Review Board did a study around 7 years ago, and they found that Black children in Sacramento died 3 to 1 of any other ethnicity in Sacramento. They found 4 main causes in 7 key locations. The 4 main causes were prenatal conditions, infant safe sleep, and child abuse and neglect, and then third-party homicide. So what we do as a Black Child Legacy Campaign incubator site is we have programs to try to bring down those numbers for all those causes. So for prenatal conditions, right, we have women trained, men trained to work alongside mothers that are pregnant to make sure they're eating healthy, that they're living healthy, that they know how to take care of themselves as well as their babies. We have staff that go to the hospitals with them sometimes when they're delivering. We hook them up with doulas and all those things. For infant safe sleep, the same thing. We have a lot of parenting class and a lot of classes to teach mothers how to actually sleep their baby in healthy ways, right? And child abuse and neglect, again, parenting classes, anger management classes. We have a home visitation program where we have staff that goes out to the home, talks to the parents, and anything that needs that we try to help them, whether it's with rental assistance, whether it's helping them advocate for them with their landlords, get jobs, whatever it is, we try to help them overcome those obstacles in the home. And we believe that will bring down the child abuse and neglect, as well as working with the children, right? Third-party homicide, that's where Healing the Hood comes in. So we do prevention, interruption, as well as crisis response. And so what that oh, okay, my bad. I was reading the chat. So what that means is this: like when there is a shooting in Sacramento, stabbing or whatever, anything that involves, especially young kids, we have I guess a standing relationship with the sheriff's department where they'll call us and let us know. At the same time they're getting the call, they'll call us and let us know, hey, we got a shooting, believe like 3 people down, whatever, and then we'll show up. We've been trained in trauma-informed care, stop the bleed, a variety of different trainings, Citizens Academy through the sheriffs, to understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. So then we can advocate for the victims' families at the scene, right? Because sometimes when all that trauma is going on at the scene, and they don't know what's going on, and the sheriffs or the police have to do their job, they don't have time sometimes to explain it to them in a loving, caring way. And so that's when we step in and do that. And we also wrap around the victims' families. We call it wraparound services. So whatever they need at the scene, we give it to them, and at the hospitals, because we show up to the hospitals too. We get it to them right then, whether it's a warm blanket, if it's a hug, just somebody to vent to. And then we also hook them up with counseling afterwards. We help pay for funerals. We help with relocation sometimes, because the people have to live somewhere else because of the violent crimes. So those are some of the things that we do. We also run groups at the Robinson Center, one called Passport to Adulthood, where we work with juniors and seniors, and we give them 12 weeks of curriculum that they usually don't get at school, from emotional intelligence. We talk about belief systems. Let's see what else. Emotional intelligence. I think I said that. How to advocate for themselves. So we bring in these different facilitators to have this. We partner with Golden One. So they come in and they teach the youngsters about credit scores, about, all those type of things, so we can set them up for success, as well as we bring in colleges and trade schools, so they could talk about what's next after high school, right? So we can set them up for success after that also. Yeah, so I think I pretty much covered a lot. A lot of information, but please reach out to us if you want to know more about us at mutualassistance.org, or you can look up Black Child Legacy Campaign.
Well, we have just had 2 very dynamic speakers, and I know that you are enjoying all of the wonderful information that you're receiving. Well, we are 10 days away from voting, which here in most states you can vote right now. So we would be amiss if we didn't encourage you to cast your vote. We are the dreams of our parents, our grandparents, our great-great-grandparents. They fought for our right to vote, knowing that they would not possibly see the results of their vote, but they knew that we, their children, their grandchildren, their great-great-great-grandchildren would benefit from their voting. And so we encourage you to vote. We say here, vote for Black futures. And on our website, we'll have a toolkit that you can avail yourselves of. It's at and information, and you just go to www.bcdisacramento.org, and that will give you our website. Also, if you have any questions or need assistance with voting, please email us at bcdisacramento.net. .com. So we are here for you, and we just want to encourage you. Your vote does matter. And just remember, you are carrying on the legacy of your grandparents, great-great-grandparents, for the future of our children. And so no matter how you feel about the political system, your vote matters. So please take advantage of the opportunity to vote. And if you have questions about whether you qualify to vote, please contact us at bcdisacramento.com, gmail.com, bcdisacramento@gmail.com, and we'll answer your questions. Thank you, and look forward to you voting this now and until November the 5th.
Well, thank you so much for that very timely reminder about the importance of voting. I have the opportunity to introduce a remarkable woman, Dr. Adrienne Lawson, and she heads Pride Industries. She serves as a workplace inclusion strategist and thought leader with more than 30 years of experience. She currently serves as Senior Director for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Pride Industries. Pride is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to create employment for people with disabilities. Prior to Pride, she was Senior Director for Health, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion at UC Davis Health. She also had a 19-year career at Sacramento State University. There she served in various roles, including part-time faculty member. Dr. Lawson's professional career has centered on higher education, restorative justice, creating inclusive spaces, outreach, recruitment and retention, and advocating for equitable opportunities for those historically underserved and most vulnerable. Dr. Lawson is a member of several nonprofit organizations, including Second Vice President for Blacks in Government, Sacramento chapter, board member for the Asian Chamber of Commerce, board member for the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Sacramento chapter, and is an advisory board member for Saving Our Legacy, African Americans for Smoke-Free, Safe Places. She was a former board member for the Sacramento Black Chamber of Commerce. She's a Los Angeles native, first-generation college student. She earned a bachelor's degree in sociology from San Jose State University. Later came a master's degree in multicultural education and doctorate degree in educational leadership and policy studies, both from Cal State University, Sacramento. She credits her academic success and perseverance to her faith and the many mentors in her life. One of her favorite quotes is by Oprah Winfrey. A mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. Her favorite scripture passage is from Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When not at work, Adrienne enjoys wellness activities, mentoring, traveling, and spending time with her family and friends. Please welcome to the podium, Dr. Lawson.
Thank you so much, Dale, for that introduction. Today, I would like to share information about Pride Industries Employment Solutions. Next slide, please. Thank you. Pride Industries is a nonprofit organization. The story behind Pride began in the basement of a church in Auburn, California. A group of parents came together to discuss how to create opportunities for their adult children with disabilities. As I do as a parent, many parents have a vision for their children's future, but these parents didn't see a bright future for their children. However, these parents came up with a solution. They came up with the idea of creating jobs for people with disabilities in order for their children to experience the dignity, independence, and sense of purpose that comes with employment. And that is Pride today. Next slide, please. After 55 years, the mission is still to create employment for people with disabilities. Our vision is for an inclusive world where people of all abilities have equal access to achieve their employment goals. Our core values is what drives us: integrity, teamwork, tenacity, and innovation. Next slide, please. Pride Industries is a social enterprise. Through personalized employment services, we help individuals of all abilities realize their true potential to lead more independent lives. That is our social impact. Next slide, please. Pride Industries is a social enterprise and has grown. We have Our mission has reached several different states. We now share our unique expertise with companies of all sizes to help them also achieve their diversity and inclusion goals. Expanding our founder's dream from a local effort into a service that benefits thousands of people across the country everywhere. We are in 15 different states, including Hawaii, and our headquarters is in Roseville, California. We are the leading employer of people with disabilities in the United States. And it started with just two people with a vision, a group of parents that came together to want a future for their children. Next slide, please. Now, the Michael Ziegler Foundation provides the pathway to employment with people with disabilities. So when there's an opportunity to give to those nonprofits, consider the Mike Ziegler Pride Industries Foundation. Next slide, please. Our programs and services consist of the following: the I Am Able helpline, and I'll hone in that shortly. We also have the assistive technology tool that enhances functionality at home and at work for our employees. Transportation services to and from work. We know that's important, as well as vocational training, teaching the job ready skills needed to enter the workforce and begin successful careers in one of multiple industries. And I'll talk about that a little later. Also, we provide job coaching, which ensures a productive experience from both employee and employer. And one of my favorites is paid internships, which provides job seekers with the opportunity to learn new skills and demonstrate readiness to potential employers. I've had the unique opportunity to have two interns that went on to full-time jobs at Pride Industries. I see them now in the hallways or in the break room, and I ask them, hey, are you running the company yet? Just to give them that motivation that is possible. Next slide, please. Again, the I Am Able Employment Helpline, it's one of a kind, and it connects people with disabilities in California with employment and support services. Next slide, please. Thank you. An inclusive workforce is available for individuals with visible as well as invisible disabilities. And we've expanded to other barriers to employment. Next slide, please. As mentioned, Pride Industries offers a wide range of roles in the service industry and skilled labor fields, as well as administrative and management, which I work in, and my interns that came through Pride Industries also currently works in administrative and management. And please feel free to send those youth over to our Citrus Heights hub, which helps our youth get internships. Again, it's really through personalized employment services. Pride Industries help individuals of all abilities to realize their true potential and lead more independent lives. Currently, 50% of Pride Industries workforce has self-identified as having a disability. Next slide, please. For more information, please contact our headquarters located in Roseville. Our business service lines for direct employment, I Am Able helpline. You can go to the next slide. You can also email us or visit our website at prideindustries.com. And if you have any questions that you would like to run by me, I am on LinkedIn. Please feel free to reach out to me. I thank you so much for the opportunity to share Pride Industries with you today, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All right. I am so full right now. We've only had 3 speakers come, and there's so many resources that we can use for things that we need. I am going to go ahead, and I think I can share my screen. Let's see. Nope. You know what? It is not going to let me share my screen right now. So I will just go ahead and spin our prize wheel, and then I'll have to just let you know who won. All right, here we go. Our first winner right now is, all right, Richard Cornelius. If you could go ahead and email me at the number on the screen, your name and your email address so that we can get your prize to you. All right, let's go ahead and do our next person. Woo! All right, Gloria Dawson, I'm sorry. Gloria Dawson, you are the next winner of our door prize. If you could go ahead again and email me at the number across the screen, that would be great so I can communicate with you. And we're going to do one more right now, and let's see who this winner is going to be. Woohoo! Joe Watts. That is our next winner. Make sure you stay on. Make sure you have your name in the chat so that we can go ahead and add you if you're not already added. All right. And I'll see you back after a few presenters.
We've had some really fascinating speakers, and I've learned a ton about programs I didn't know about before, as well as programs that have been around for years that I've heard of, but I did not know the volume of activities that they do. So I hope you all are learning something as well. I am pleased to introduce our next speaker, Toni Marie Johnson, and she represents the Rose Family Creative Empowerment Center. Now, Ms. Johnson is the program manager for the Community Resources Wellness and Elevate Youth Programs. The center combats social and cultural poverty through arts and education programs that help equip and empower our children and families to succeed and thrive. So I'd like you to welcome Ms. Toni Marie Johnson.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm very much honored. So I'm going to go through this PowerPoint and let you know about the Rose Family Creative Empowerment Center. If we can go to the next slide, please. Officially founded in 2014, Ms. Jackie Rose has been a pillar in the South Sacramento, Meadowview, and Valley High neighborhoods for over 2 decades. Rose Family combats social and cultural poverty through intervention and prevention programs, education and enrichment programs, empowerment programs, and safety net services to help equip and empower children and families to succeed and thrive. Our mission is to empower individuals and families by meeting them where they're at and building their capacity to be self-sufficient and to be contributing members of the community. Our vision is for families to have access to the tools, knowledge, and networks that provide them with skills to achieve thriving and fulfilling lives for themselves and future generations. Can we go to slide 6, please? So in 2016, Rose Family Creative Empowerment has served as the community incubator lead agency for the Black Child Legacy Campaign, the Meadowview community. Our goal is to focus on reducing African American children's death. The BCLC focuses on 4 focus areas. The first one is infant safe sleep, to reduce the risk of SIDS and educate our parents and families to participate in these practices until the child's first birthday. The second one is perinatal conditions. I am a doula, so this is so dear to my heart. Black women experience a higher rate of perinatal conditions than a white woman and any other race. We're most likely to experience pregnancy complications due to explicit bias in the healthcare setting. The next one is the child abuse and neglect, which refers to child deaths caused directly or indirectly by a caregiver. Families are at a higher risk of child abuse and neglect when they are experiencing crisis and when they have little or no social support. That's why we need to educate families about baby shaking syndrome, offer counseling, parenting class, and love on our babies. And the fourth is child and youth homicides, which is third-party homicide. In Sacramento, African American children are 4 times likely to die because of the third-party homicides than any other ethnic group. Each CIL consists of, when I say CIL, it's a community incubator lead. So can I have the next slide, please? So, as our guests before, we have 7 incubators, and each incubator is Meadowview. We have Ardent Arcade. We have Del Paso, which is North Sacramento. We have Fruit Ridge, Stockton. We have North Highlands and Foothill Farms, Oak Park, and Valley High. Each CIL consists of case managers, a community incubator lead. Our incubator lead is Miss Jackie Rose. Marquise Lawson is our program director. We have 2 case managers. We have probation, CPS, SETA, and DHA. The next slide, please. Through Rose Family, we also give out legacy grants, which provide organizations that is also doing the work, and that focuses on the 4 focus areas. And you can look below our past recipients that include Hooked on Fishing, Not on Violence, Always Knocking, A Better Life Children's Agencies, 100 Black Men, and Luther Burbank Cheer Team. Next, please. We also have a culture broker program. So when families are entered into the CPS system, we have culture brokers that look like them and can help them navigate the system and to improve their family outcome. Next slide, please. That's why it is so important for us to collaborate in partnership to help these families so they can just navigate, so we can help navigate them. So next slide, please. Miss Jackie Rose has 5 after-school programs. They're located at Phoenix Park Apartments, Park Elementary, Susan B. Anthony School, John Steele K through 8, and Luther Burbank High School. And she also did the Freedom School during the summer, serving over 1,000 students a day and providing homework assistance, academic enrichment activities, and organized recreation. Next slide, please. The empowerment programs. Next slide. Providence Place Apartments. We currently have resident services there. To assist the residents, we partner with the Sacramento Food Bank to provide USDA commodities monthly. We provide after-school homework assistance for the youth. We provide BCLC case management services for the residents, and we partner with the Macro Partnership for academic support to our youth at the Valley High Community Center. Next slide, please. We have a program that is Concrete Needs, and Concrete Needs is we have partnered with the Sacramento County, and so all the CIL incubators that I had listed, all 7 of them, families, women that are pregnant or have children from 0 to 5 is eligible for this. They can receive assistance up to $5,000. So we help with rental assistance. We've helped with utility assistance, car payments. We provided services for food. We've furnished their homes. And so this is just one of the programs that we have here at our incubator at Meadowview. The next slide, please. We are also the 211 hub through PSAP. So we are currently partnering with Sacramento Steps Forward to provide assistance related to housing stability. Our housing support and resource navigators work with families to avoid homelessness and to keep families in a stable home. So they provide the deposit and the move-in costs for our families to move in. Next slide, please. Here at Rose Family, we have a food giveaway, which is Monday through Thursday from 1 to 3:30. It is located at our office, which is located at 7000 Franklin Boulevard, Suite 1020. We are partnered with Bel Air. We get food from Sprouts. And so there is no requirement. We just have people come and from afar, even out in the North area, in the Elk Grove area, they come and get food. And that's all they need to do. So the next slide, please. And that's the end of my presentation. We also give away diapers. We give formula away. We do a lot here. I'm very fortunate to be employed here with the Rose Family Creative Empowerment Center. And I want to say thank you very much. And I hope everyone have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. That was very enlightening. You, as an organization, have your finger on the pulse of everything family needs. It was refreshing to hear. Next up, we have 2 powerful young men to talk to us about 100 Black Men of Sacramento. We'll hear first from Richard Cornelius, Sr. He is serving his 6th year as the president of the 100 Black Men of Sacramento, Incorporated. Under his leadership, the organization has shown resilience through the COVID-19 pandemic. They conducted virtual town halls, virtual meeting sessions, and pivoted through COVID-inspired ways of life that continue to be with us today. President Cornelius realized his vision and developed the California State University at Sacramento Collegiate 100 chapter. The chapter mentors students through their college experience and allows them to mentor those at the middle and high school levels. Richard is a spring 20 2022 100 Black Men of America Leadership Institute alumni graduate, National Committee member of Health and Wellness, Strategic Planning, and the Celebrity Golf Tournament. He is the Sacramento chapter sponsor of the Collegiate 100 CSUS, whose mantra is, "What they see is what they'll be." Next, you'll hear from Dr. Israel Cross. He's a compassionate gerontologist. He is also a lieutenant commander with the United States Public Health Services Commission Corps. He is an officer with over 15 years of experience in public health and aging. He's known for his heartfelt dedication to improving the lives of older adults. Cross combines his experience and expertise across healthcare, health information technology, disease prevention, and community engagement to create lasting positive change for vulnerable populations. His work emphasizes health equity. He focuses on access to quality health care and caregiving, ensuring that older adults receive the support they need to thrive. As the president of the National Aging in Place Council, Dr. Cross leads with warmth and vision. He unites professionals and communities to advocate for the dignity and independence of aging individuals. His unwavering passion for caregiving and health equity continues to drive meaningful progress. His work addresses the unique challenges facing older populations. It promotes preventive measures such as vaccinations to protect against illness and enhances the well-being of those he serves. At this point, I would like to welcome Mr. Cornelius and Dr. Israel Cross to the podium.
Good day, building community family. Kudos to our exceptional community partners, Jennifer Willis, National Coalition of 100 Black Women of Sacramento, Miss Jackie Rose and the Rose Family Creative Empowerment Center, and Daryl and Tina Roberts from the Roberts Family Development Center. The 100 Black Men of America was established 61 years ago in 1963 under the great Jackie Robinson, the late and honorable Mayor David Dinkins, and 98 other prominent Black men that saw the need in the inner city to help uplift our community and those youth. The 100 Black Men of Sacramento was established in 1986. There are over 105 chapters today, including London and Caicos Turks in the Caribbean. We have a similar tenure, vision, mission, and focus areas that align with the Black Child Development Institute of Sacramento and other organizations represented here today. Our mission is to improve the quality of life within our communities and enhance educational and economic opportunities for all African Americans. The vision of the 100 is to serve as a beacon of leadership by utilizing our diverse talents to create environments where our children are motivated to achieve and to empower our people to become self-sufficient shareholders in the economic and social fabric of the communities we serve. The 100 Black Men of America and Sacramento is committed to the intellectual development of youth and the economic empowerment of the African American community based on the following precepts: respect for family, spirituality, justice, and integrity. We lead upon the foundational pillars, which we call 4 for the future: mentoring, education, economic empowerment, health and wellness, and all under the umbrella of leadership. We also have our program called Mentoring for a Lifetime, where we're really working with children from elementary, middle school, high school, into college. As indicated in the introduction, we have at Sac State the Collegiate 100, where we have over 40 mentors who help their voices are heard very well by the ears of our younger mentees. We also offer our college students professional development, financial literacy, public speaking, and mental health and wellness programs and opportunities. Locally in the Sacramento area, we offer Third Friday on-campus mentoring at Natomas High School on our first Friday of each month. We have drones, 3D printing, and robotics at Center of Praise. And on our first and fourth Friday, we conduct AI music production for the youth in the Sacramento area. Our mantra is what they see is what they'll be. So we'll bring different individuals, just as we're going to bring the doctor and show them what they can be. We'll be taking the youth to Black men wear white coats in the Bay Area where they can sit, have lunch, and converse with doctors. Keep in mind, we have the annual youth conference. This will be our 36th, and that's February 8th, 2025. And I want to let you know also that we are going to be offering COVID and free influenza shots November 9th and December 21st at the Oak Park Community Center. Remember, vote, risk less, do more, get this season's vaccines. And with that, I want to pass the remaining time on to Lieutenant Commander Dr. Israel Cross. Thank you, Brother Cross.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Cornelius. I'm Israel Cross, representing the Department of Health and Human Services Risk Less, Do More campaign, and also, and more importantly, I represent being a father and a caregiver. I'm here voluntarily. I don't stand to benefit anything financially. I just wanted to spend some time with you to talk about getting vaccinated and staying up to date on our respiratory vaccines. So today we'll be talking about the flu, COVID-19, and the virus affectionately known as the virus with the bad middle name, RSV, which stands for respiratory syncytial virus. All those three continue to take a toll heavy across the United States. Due to the flu just last year, we had about 15 million medical visits, 400,000 hospitalizations, and thousands of deaths caused by just the influenza virus infection. Speaking of COVID, 900,000 were hospitalized for COVID and 200,000 hospitalized for RSV. So, you can already see just by the statistics and numbers alone, the importance of getting vaccinated. In 2023, 90% of adults were hospitalized for COVID. They were not up to date on the COVID vaccine. Also, just talking about vaccines in general, they bring your risk down significantly for contracting these viruses. So you can keep showing up for yourself, your family, your friends. The expression in airlines and stewardess, they say, in event of emergency, the oxygen mask drop down, you put on yours before you can help someone else. So likewise, we have to take care of ourselves so we can show up for everybody. Talking about flu, COVID, RSV again, they tend to surge in the fall and winter. And this is because, people are indoors more where ventilation isn't as good. Also, the air tends to be a more dry and cold. And that actually helps the virus stay more in the droplets in the air. And of course, make it harder for your body to fight off the illnesses. Everyone 6 months and older is able to get a vaccine, and it's recommended they do so. Again, as a gerontologist, someone who's a caregiver for my mother-in-law living with dementia, it's particularly important for our older adults. They're more likely to be hospitalized for flu, COVID, and RSV. Best time to get these vaccines are now, especially for flu, September and October, but you can still get vaccinated later in the fall and winter, which can still help the symptoms be less severe if you get the flu after vaccination. And just because you had the flu shot last year doesn't mean you're still protected now. The flu viruses can change year to year, which also affects the immunity from both flu vaccines. But again, this is about risking less so you can do more. So, please do what you can to lower your risk. We know that Blacks, Hispanics are more likely to be hospitalized for these respiratory conditions. And you can even get more than one of these respiratory virus vaccines in the same appointment. Um, again, just want to stress our older adults. You can also ask when you get your flu vaccine for a more potent flu vaccine. It's called adjuvanted flu, and it's just a little stronger than your regular flu vaccine for older adults for extra protection. Um, again, everyone 6 months or older can get the vaccines. Um, keep showing up for your family. If you want to learn more, go to cdc.gov/risk less do more to learn more about the flu, COVID-19, and RSV vaccines. If you have any questions, you can talk to your doctor about which vaccines are right for you. And even if you go to the pharmacy, they'll be happy to help you as well. And to learn more about the Risk Less Do More Department of Health and Human Services education campaign, you can visit risklessdomore.hhs.gov. And again, thank you for everyone on this platform to allow me to spend a few minutes talking about these respiratory vaccines. And even thank you to the tech support in the background, making this event seamless and smooth. So everyone have a great rest of your day.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Dr. Cross. I know I've got my shots, even my shingle shot this year. I'm of that age. All right. So I do have a couple of people that have not contacted me. Karon Kalu, as well as Gloria Dawson. If you are still on here, you have until 11:20 to contact me, or we'll go ahead and put those prizes back in for someone else to win. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to call our next person for a raffle. Excuse me, door prize. All right, Latoya Johnson, if you are on here, please text me or call me as soon as I am finished so that we can coordinate and get your prize to you. All right, let's go ahead and do our next spin of the wheel. All right, Tavy Dolly, if you are on here, please go ahead and contact me at the number that is coming across the screen as soon as I finish. All right, and our last one for this time is Valencia Sapples. All right. Again, make sure you contact me, Karon Kalu, Gloria Dawson, Latoya Johnson, Valencia Saffold, and Tavi Dolly. Please contact me on the number across your screen as soon as possible so that we can coordinate to get your door prize. Thank you.
Welcome back. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Nay Hamilton is with 916 Inc. She is a Sacramento native who has been inspired by helping people as early as elementary school, volunteering at schools, community centers, and for the community Nay landed herself a humanitarian award and Black Girls Rock Award in 2017. Nay has partnered with several local nonprofits to try to bridge the gap between North and South Sacramento, and also to provide new opportunities for the underserved population of Sacramento. Nay has been a volunteer liaison for 916 Inc. for 2 years, where she connects community members with volunteer opportunities and resources. Nay is continuing her education at American River College in the nursing field. She hopes to become a registered nurse. And if you ever find yourself wanting to volunteer, you can email her at volunteer at 916inc.org. And on that note, I'd like to welcome Ms. Hamilton.
Hello. Thank you all for having me. Good morning. I'll just get right into it. 916 Inc. is a nonprofit organization in Sacramento, California that offers creative writing and literacy programs for youth. Our primary goal is to empower young people through the power of storytelling, promoting literacy, self-expression, and build confidence. Here are some of our main services. So we have creative writing workshops. They provide workshops that encourage youth to explore their creativity, often led by trained teaching artists. We have book publishing. So 916 Inc. helps youth writers publish their works in professionally bound books, giving participants the chance to see their work in print. Our youth empowerment programs aim to improve confidence, communication skills, and social emotional learning through creative expression. And lastly, our community events. They host events like book release parties, readings, and workshops to engage the community and celebrate the achievements of young authors. Their services are typically aimed at students in underserved communities, focusing on building literacy and writing skills in a supportive and creative environment. Hello, everyone. Like Dale said, my name is Nay Hamilton. I am a recruitment capacity member / volunteer liaison with 916 Inc. I've been with 916 Inc. for 2 years now. 916 Inc. is not just any nonprofit. We are on a mission to transform young lives through the power of literacy, storytelling, and creative writing. Through our Read On program, 1st through 5th grade students, mostly at all Title I schools, receive reading instruction anchored in the science of reading from volunteer tutors and 916 Inc. staff.
Hello. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but we're going to move this show right along, and I appreciate May and her presentation. And sorry it was cut a little short, but we're going to move on to introduce our next speaker, who is Jacqueline Kendricks. And she is with the Roberts Family Development Center, or RFDC. Jacqueline is a program manager for the Roberts Family Development Center. The center began providing academic enrichment services in 2001, serving just 13 students in North Sacramento. Since then, it has grown to provide academic wraparound services for over 500 students, their families, and their communities. Please welcome Ms. Kendricks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. I'm going to jump right into it and talk to you just a little bit about Roberts Family Development Center, what we provide for our community members, and I'll mention some opportunities for all of you to become a part of that community if it's something you're interested in, or if you know others that are needing to connect to community. Our mission at Roberts Family Development Center is to continue to provide the greater Sacramento area with support systems focusing primarily on our pre-K through pre-K through 12th grade academic support and enrichment, as well as family engagement, parent education, and what we call family support systems. What our belief is here at Roberts Family Development Center is that education is the great equalizer. It still remains to be that for children in our communities. And so in order for our families and our community to thrive, not only do our children need to have equitable opportunities to education and resources, but as well our families do. And so Mr. and Mrs. Roberts in 2001, as mentioned earlier, started the Roberts Family Development Center in North Sacramento. We have a few target areas: after-school programming, summer programming, which is freedom schools, youth development opportunities, opportunities for our young people to become civically engaged and develop some of those skills that they may not traditionally develop in the traditional school day, counseling services, as well as civic engagement and tutoring and mentoring. Right now, we are right now in the school season, we are all things after school programming. And so currently we have 5 sites where we are performing after school programming. One of those is what we call our main center, which is at our local office here in North Sacramento on Jarena Avenue. We serve Martin Luther King Technology Academy and junior high school in the Del Paso Heights area, Taylor Elementary and the Robles School District. We serve 100 high schoolers at Grant High School. And then we also serve Pioneer Elementary School off of Greenback and 80, where we serve TK through 8th grade. Our big push is our Freedom Schools Summer Literacy Program. We offer that program currently now in 5 school districts. We are working with the Folsom Cordova School District currently. We will host in West Sac and Yolo County. We will also host in the Twin River School District, the Robles School District, and hopefully the Natoma School District this upcoming school year. Freedom Schools is a literacy program that is designed to help young people fall in love with reading, but also to help children and help close the literacy gap for children of color. It is super important that, again, our youth have opportunities and access to resources where they're able to see themselves in the literature, as well as develop comprehensive literacy skills, comprehension skills, and the love for civic engagement, and understanding how they right now, at whatever age they are in our programming, can make a difference in this world, in this country, in their communities. We serve in that program kindergartners through 12th graders. The next program I'll briefly talk about is our African American Healing Network. That program is designed to provide trauma supports or some mental health supports to our African American community. In our communities, many of you know, seeking support for mental health isn't always easily found or readily available in a manner that is culturally appropriate for us, or even by someone who understands our cultural dichotomy. And so in this program, we partner with African-American therapists and healers, traditional and non-traditional, to provide supports to our community members. We offer a every Monday soul line dancing class. Every third Thursday, we do a spoken word and open mic night. It's called Speak Your Piece. We do activities like these that are non-traditional, but that are open to our community members, so that you can come in and you can have fun and you can laugh. But we also create community in these events as well. One of Roberts Family Development Center's largest pushes is advocacy, equitable resources, and civic engagement and system change. And so all of our programs have that embedded in them. How can we improve the system of care that is serving our families and our communities? We are the North Sacramento Black Child Legacy Hub for the Del Paso Heights area, and which I think you may have heard a bit about the Black Child Legacy Program. We are targeting 4 particular areas in that program, which is to improve perinatal conditions, infant sleep deaths numbers, to decrease the number of child abuse and neglect situations for African American children, as well as third-party homicide. At Roberts Family Development Center, we do that in a variety of ways. Most of the ways that we do that are proactive ways, from our youth mentoring, our Young Boys of Honor program, our girls and boys groups that we host, our Girl Scout troops, as well as our after-school programs, our summer school programs, and our civic engagement and youth development programs. We also offer a community-based mentoring program. If you or anyone you know is interested in being a mentor for young children, this is a great way to give back. The thing that makes the difference in most children's lives is a caring adult. And so through this program, we create opportunities for community members to come in and to mentor a child and to spend. We ask that they devote a calendar year with them. We ask that they meet with the child 2 to 3 times a month based on their schedule and the relationship. We provide field trip opportunities and lots of opportunities for them to engage as with the youth as well as with the family. That is my presentation for you all today. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. On the screen, you will see my contact information if you have any further questions or needs.
Thank you, Jacqueline. It's amazing everything that happens at the foundation. I am going to turn the floor over to Kathy, and I think she's going to do another raffle for us.
Yes, Miss Dale, we have 3. Well, I should tell you all what they are. I didn't even tell everyone what the door prizes are. You will, if your name comes up, you will receive a $20 Amazon gift card. All right, so let me go ahead and go to the Wheel of Fun, is what I call it. And let me go ahead and spin and see who else is going to win. Our next winner is... Oh, it's Charlena Harris. All right, Ms. Harris, I think I have your information already, but you know what? Just in case, Charlena, can you go ahead and send it to me again? And congratulations. All right, let's see who our next winner is. Messiah Shaw. Messiah Shaw, if you are on here, please make sure you give me a phone call, or please email me at the number that is going across the screen as soon as I finish. All right, congratulations, Messiah. And here is our last door prize. Our last winner is Kurzani Cruz. If you are on here, Kurzani, go ahead and give me a call or text me. If you all could, who just won, if you could contact me in the next 5 minutes so that I know that you are on here, I can get your information and that we can go ahead. And if you don't call, we're gonna put your prize back in the wheel of fun and go ahead and spin again. So again, if I could have Charlena Harris, I think I have your information, but if you could just text me again, I would appreciate it. Messiah Shaw and Kurzani Jones. The next 5 minutes, go ahead and contact me. And thanks again, everyone, for participating.
Thank you. Next up, we have Kwame Curry Sr. From Keepsake Creatives. Mr. Curry is a charismatic and creative graphic and web designer. He has become a successful entrepreneur through the unwavering dedication and hard work. Kwame developed an unexpected flair for graphic design that has made him a master of his craft. He has over 25 years of experience in creating impactful marketing materials, digital campaigns, and brand identities. He has created some of the most profound brand entities throughout California and the United States. He was born on Travis Air Force Base to a father that was a pilot in the U.S. Air Force and commercial airlines. His mother was a flight attendant and a nurse before she retired. Kwame is now a single father of 6 boys and 2 girls. Kwame knew he had to create a legacy not only for himself, but for his children as well. Despite the struggles of life, Kwame has proven that he can excel in all areas of life without compromising on the responsibilities of being a father to his children. He started his career with a passion for music and sports, but as his family grew, he moved on to pursue his passion for business. From clothing, full service, graphic design, and printing to memorial and funeral keepsakes, he founded many other interests as well. Those interests included magazine publication, an entertainment company, and a youth mentorship nonprofit. His entrepreneurial spirit knows no bounds. Kwame is now a go-to expert for business looking to achieve their goals and enhance their brand presence. His accomplishments serve as a testament to his hard work, dedication, and infectious spirit, which will undoubtedly inspire others to reach their goals. It's my pleasure to welcome Kwame. Please join us.
My apologies. Okay, that works now. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for this opportunity. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I never really would have thought of myself as a role model or anything like that. I'm one of those people that I don't like getting credit for something that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, like being a father, giving back to my community, supporting others, all of that good stuff like that. So I appreciate this opportunity. A couple of things. I was born into a what we would consider back then and not so much now, unfortunately, a successful Black family. My father was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force and also one of the first Black pilots to to fly for a commercial airline. My mom was one of the first Black flight attendants for the airlines back in the day and stuff as well. So that was pretty cool on that nature as well. And it's funny how I end up getting into graphic designing, printing, web designing, marketing, all of that kind of stuff because of the background that they had. I had a small background in sports and played sports and did music and stuff for a long period of time. But after my parents got divorced at a young age, I've been taking care of myself since I was 14 years old. So one of the things that I wanted to do was break that cycle of just being there for my kids and everything on a daily basis. So once I started having kids and all of that stuff, my focus was my life wasn't my own anymore, and I just had to build something strong for them in that foundation. So with that being said, I started doing graphic designing and printing. Every one of my businesses that I have all revolve around graphic designing, printing, and marketing and stuff like that. With Keepsake Creative, which is one of the reasons why I'm here, I do custom. I'm in the community a lot. I do a lot of custom funeral programs, memorial movies, T-shirts, all of that stuff for a lot of different families. But when these families come into my office, they're not just sitting here and just coming to get this work done. They're actually, they're talking to me about a lot of stuff that's going on in their families and their lives. So I'm hearing stuff, from all ages of people that are passing away, unfortunately, from suicide, from domestic violence, from violence in the community, all that kind of stuff, which is really unfortunate. So, with that being said, I try to give back as much as possible. When we had the shooting downtown in Sacramento, I actually donated to all the victims and stuff, including one of the homeless ladies that got murdered in downtown Sacramento. I ended up doing all the programs and stuff for those families as a way to give back to the community. And from that aspect, I was actually selected to be one of the city ambassadors for the city of Sacramento. So I'm an ambassador for the city of Sacramento, and I'm trying to do what I can to help impact our community and change our community and stuff from the inside out and stuff as well. I've dealt with my own tragedies and stuff as well. One of my sons, this happened in 2022. One of my sons was attacked by another student at his high school in Elk Grove and hit in his head with a fire extinguisher multiple times and almost murdered. And at that point in time, that was hard on me for being a father and watching my son having to go through all of that and stuff as well. And so that made me just step up even more for our community and for our kids. So we also, I started a program, it's called Their Growth Foundation. So that program actually starts in February of 2025. That program is an entrepreneurial program for kids, giving them the opportunity to be what they want to be, but also have that side, as everybody said, that side hustle in order for them to make a living nowadays and also keep themselves active and busy and engaged. Because one thing with our community and our kids in our community, a lot of our kids get into trouble because of the simple fact that there's no programs that are out there to help kids, help them be engaged in something that they would love to do. It's always, it's just either it's sports or it's this and, go from there, or, music. And there's a lot of other things that is out there that we want to teach. So I teach them how to do graphic designing, printing, marketing, apparel printing, embroidery. I teach them all the kind of things like that. We also have a financial literacy program as well. We also have a youth mentorship internship that we're starting as well for that program. So I know I have a lot of different businesses and stuff. So my information, I have everything under one site, cockeylegacy.com, which gives you a link to and information for all of my businesses and all of the services that we provide. But I also do mentorships for a lot of different people that want to start their own businesses, and I help them with their branding, their marketing. I help them get the stuff out there because there's not a lot of Black graphic designers and stuff, especially one that is able to provide quality stuff that is needed to make businesses grow. So I do what I can for our community to help them grow, and having even platforms like this is really great to get the word out, because there's a lot of people that do great things in the community that people are unable to know about. So again, thank you for this platform. And then also, last thing would be, it's also under the link, and you'll be able to pull it up. But I also have a magazine that I've been doing, and I didn't even realize I've been doing it for 20 years. And that magazine is pretty much a magazine that that focuses on a little bit of everything from sports, entertainment, community, all of that stuff. And it's also my way of having a voice and putting my voice out there to the community, and showcasing a lot of businesses and stuff as well that way. So my big MO is just to work with the community and help build our community, and work with whoever I can work with, and provide any kind of services and stuff that I can provide to make our community great, because our community is something else. It's a great thing, and I love everybody that came in and speak today. I was over here just writing notes while I'm working on building another website and all of that stuff right now too. So all of the information that you guys have already provided, I've been jotting stuff down and taking you guys information. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate this platform. I thank you guys for all of it, and that's my spiel for the day. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and thank you for this.
Well, thank you, Kwame. It was a pleasure hearing about all you do. Extremely creative and resourceful. Thank you again. At this time, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Raven McCullough. She is with the Black Parallel School Board. She's a policy organizer with the Black Parallel School Board. Her organizing roots run deep. As a fifth grader, she led a student walkout protesting unfair masking policies. Now, in parentheses, she puts, it may have involved a $10 bribe and early access to recess, but the seeds of rebellion were sown. These days, she is a menace to those who are trying to deny rights and privileges for kids of color. The school districts hate to see her coming. She fights relentlessly for Black families. When not engaging in the work, you'll find her swinging her legs off of a balcony, lost in a book, hiking, and strategizing the next move in her important work. Please welcome Raven.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for that introduction. My name is Raven McCullough, and I'm with the Black Parallel School Board. Welcome, welcome. We're so happy to be here and so happy that you have us here today. We've been here in the past, but we're happy to join every single year. This is a wonderful conference that's being put on, and I hope you all are enjoying yourselves. We had some amazing speakers. All right. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Black Parallel School Board, who we are, what we do. And so you can see, all right, we have this very nifty, that's all of our school board members. This is an older photo, but we have quite a few more. So what is the Black Parallel School Board? So first I'm going to give you just a little bit of history about who we are and how we got started. So in 2007, the co-founders of Black Parallel School Board, which wasn't created yet, knew that they had a problem. They consistently saw the persistent educational inequities that were affecting Black students in Sacramento, specifically Sacramento City Unified. And they knew something had to change. So what we kind of do in certain situations, we try to intellectualize it. So that's exactly what they did. So one of our co-founders, Carl Pinkston, with a group of others, one of the others being one of our ancestors, Dr. David Coven, and they all kind of delved deep into what the problem was, why our children were not thriving in the school system. They organized focus groups, conducted surveys, and spoke with former superintendents, principals, teachers, and even students from continuation schools. Their comprehensive report aimed to shed light on the challenges that we were having in Sac City and also to offer proposed solutions. So they met up in Oak Park. I don't know if we have any, but I feel like we have some representatives of Oak Park here. And they met at the community center, and it was packed. It was packed with concerned parents, because one thing that we know about Black parents is that they value education. And so it definitely was packed from people. It was wall to wall, and those folks were ready for a change. But before we got to the point of presenting the report, each community member had something to say. And as each one stepped up to the mic, it became very clear that they weren't there to discuss the report, that they really weren't even concerned about it. They couldn't care any less. Instead, what happened was we saw a very impassioned group that voiced their frustrations they were having with the district. We quickly understood that a problem can't be solved unless it's understood. So some of the things that they talked about is that when they went to the board meetings, they didn't have enough time to speak. And when they did speak, they felt like they were shouting in the wind. The people were only limited to 2 minutes, and it was nowhere near enough time to really convey the complexities of what was going on with their children. They felt unheard and voiceless. And there was also a lack of follow-up. So maybe when they did get their 2 minutes and they got their story in, no one followed up, and it was like, okay, so what are we doing? And they really had issues: unlawful suspensions and expulsions, inadequate educational resources. The Black students at the school weren't feeling like they were welcomed. And parent after parent echoed the same sentiments, really highlighting a systemic issue, a problem in how their concerns were not being addressed. So this sparked an urgency really in our co-founders, Dr. David Coven and Carl Pinkston, and others, to really find a solution. So we were inspired by the Black Parallel School Board established by the Black Panther Party in Oakland in 1969, and found that there were other similar initiatives in places like Baltimore. And we decided to create our organization built on those frameworks. And Dr. David Coven was really instrumental in building out the structure and the bylaws for that. And when we thought about what our mission was going to be, it was that we were going to center parents' voices. We were going to honor parents' voices. And that continues to lead our work to this day. It was the community, and it is the community that we serve. We are ensured accountability because we are responsible to a community that sees us every day, that sees us walking around at your nearest stores, at your nearest parks. And we were also knew that we needed to deliver resolutions, because one thing that we heard was there was no follow-up and nothing was happening. So in 2008, February, Black History Month, we officially launched the Black Parallel School Board. And since that day, the Black Parallel School Board has worked relentlessly alongside Sacramento City Unified, not always hand in hand. Sometimes there's a bit of contradictions, and we grapple with a little bit of a struggle. But we monitor their school district programs and ensuring that they align with the needs of Black students. We also provide resources and trainings to parents, empowering them to advocate for their children's education. The community built this organization. We are mere servants of it. But as they built this organization, they really ignited a movement that was committed to educational equity, where Black children is our center of our world building and politics. We advocate for Black children. And that is the story of Black Parallel School Board. So what do we do? What else do we do? We also, like I said before, we empower parents, we fight educational justice to close the educational and the opportunity gap for Black students. Now, the different organizing activities that we do Know Your Rights trainings, parent organizing trainings, school site councils trainings. We created a parent guidebook that you can use from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. So it's always something that's reflective and something that you can always go back to. You can make notations on it. We also do a lot of, we come to events like this to let folks know that we are in existence because we need all the volunteer help that we can get. We understand that it's not always easy to volunteer with organizations, but we're doing a lot of work. And our main areas of focus, like my bio said, I am part of a local, so I'm a policy organizer, and we do statewide and local and district policies. We also deal with parent organizing, IEP supports, where we provide resources. We are part of a lot of local coalitions. We have a youth group. It's an intergenerational youth leadership group where we're developing our students. We have a lawsuit, which I'll get into a little bit later. As I said, it hasn't always been rainbows and kittens with Sac City Unified. We are also part of a lot of statewide and regional coalitions, and we do a BPSB. We have a lot of regional cohorts, and so we don't just have the Black Parallel School Board in Sacramento, we also have cohorts in West Contra Costa as well as Merced. So working as the Black Parallel School Board, as we work in alignment, we try to be in alignment with as much as possible with the Sacramento City Unified. It doesn't always work. So in 2019, and 3 individual students and their parents filed a case against Sac City Unified School District. And we filed the case on the basis that they were discriminating against Black students and Black students with disabilities. And we collected data. We did a lot of what I said in the earlier part, where we got reports, we heard stories, we heard it from impacted individuals, and we saw a systemic theme and a systemic problem. And so we launched a lawsuit in 2019. In 2023, we came to a settlement with Sac City Unified, and we created an action plan to make changes to the systemic issues that were plaguing Sac City Unified as it relates to Black students and Black students specifically with disabilities. We also created committees. So we have an accountability and oversight plan to ensure that the action plan is being implemented with fidelity. We also are part of we also sit on the board of the independent monitor, and to just ensure that the plan is something that can be applied tangibly, that it's a tangible application, and that not something that's just really huge, far gone goals, and that not something that we can see and attach to. And again, so we can keep them accountable. A lot of the issues that sometimes we have is just keeping the district accountable to what they're going to say. So how do you join us? We always like to end on a high note. We have monthly meetings every first Saturday of the month. And so it'll be next Saturday at 10 a.m. And you can always find the link. It's virtual, so we like to make it accessible. We also have closed captioning for our folks who may be hard of hearing. And we have a parent advocacy group that meets every third Thursday. So every third Thursday, and it's led by one of our Black Parallel School Board members. You all are welcome to come as you would like. We also have ongoing trainings for our community leaders. Sometimes we know that our parents can't always attend all of our trainings. So we try to make it available to our leaders and our community partners, and so that they can take the information back to their base. And if you'd like to join, or any of this sounds really interesting, please reach out to us at info@blackparallelschoolboard.com. I'll also put that information in the chat. And so if we have any questions, please leave those questions in the chat. Love to read on to those. And lastly, we have this beautiful Black baby giving us all the Black joy. And I want to thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. That was very enlightening to learn all about this organization. Another new one on my list. At this point, I'd like to introduce Mr. Ronnie Cobbs, and he's with Search Pro Staffing. He currently is the Director of Employee Relations for Search Pro Staffing, and it covers 34 states. The company is one of the country's top placement firms based here in Sacramento. He is also a board member for Sacramento Works. Formerly the Director of Partnerships for the Urban League, Mr. Cobb provided oversight and creative development for mental health and led strategic recruitment plans with SMUD, WellSpace, Health, Kaiser, Home Depot, Golden One, Aggie Square, and many other corporations. Mr. Cobb's tenure in the capital city has enabled him to successfully lead the hiring, cultural transition, and diversification initiatives for many of the region's best employers. The list includes Rayleigh's, the Money Store, and Blue Shield. Mr. Cobb has a legacy of fairness and diversified educational practices. Those who have worked with him leave his presence just a little bit better. As a boys basketball coach in the Elk Grove United School District, Mr. Cobb has set a standard for creating not only championship teams, but well-balanced individuals who understand the value and importance of the word all. He has been recognized multiple times for his team's emphasis on the benefits of diversity and inclusion and for its anti-bullying campaign. Mr. Cobb takes great pride in watching his players grow both on and off the court. He has been a featured speaker for the UC Davis Graduate Program for several years. He emphasizes the transition from school to work and beyond. Mr. Cobb is a native of Jackson, Tennessee, and he says, quote, "My children, Saralyn, Kyle, and Drew, are the gems of my earthly crown." He earned his Bachelor's of Science from California State University School of Business with an emphasis in human resource management and is recognized in who's who among America's top professionals. Please welcome speaker Mr. Ronnie Cobbs.
Good afternoon or good morning, everybody. Hope you can hear me clearly. It's an honor to be here. Special thank you to Ms. Stafford for the Black Child Development Institute folks and Ms. Kathy Carter Wilson, who has been a lifelong friend of mine since we were in our children's choir at St. Paul back when we were about 10 years old each. It's an honor to be here and just to be a part of the Children of Promise conference. I've had a chance to listen to everyone who's gone thus far, and I just really want to commend the people that have been on and taken time to share with their organizations and individually what they do for our communities. Because growing up as a child in a family that really believed in community and diversification and fairness, it's impressive to hear what's going on and being reemphasized the things that I knew were happening in our city also. And even reminiscing back to when I was on the RFDC board with the Roberts Family Development Center, I was probably 23 years old, the first board of directors that they ever had when they first built the building. And I'm just proud to see what that organization has done under the leadership of Big Brother Daryl Roberts too. So just a shout out to all those guys. When they told me about the topic about building community and we were going to be talking about we're wearing purple for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, it just reminded me of all the things we do and the things that have been done in my life personally that allowed me to understand that I was a child of promise throughout my lifetime. I can look back to being one of two African American kids in my classes in Alton, Illinois. My mother is the eldest of 10 children. She went from Jackson, Tennessee, where, all black churches, all black teachers, all black counselors, all black preachers, all black everything, to be one of two young ladies selected to go to Alton, Illinois and integrate an all white school. And we always talked about, what that journey must have been like. So when I had a chance to go and lead a lot of these major corporations, no matter what kind of struggles and challenges I dealt with, I always reminded myself that it was nothing like going as a black teacher amongst all these white kids, white people that did not even want her there, but to look 50 plus years later at what legacy she left from what she taught them to what they taught her to what then she applied here in Sacramento McClatchy High School. It just set the standard for me that there was no excuse, but we had to educate beyond ignorance. And so when I look at being at Search Pros, I'm honored to be there to oversee, the employee relations for us for 34 states, because I think about all the people that did not get such opportunities like I have. But a big part of that for me was that someone took the time to help me understand that I was a child of promise. I can think back to my elementary school teachers. We went from predominantly all white schools in Illinois, came to California, moved off of 24th and Florence. So I went to Mark Hopkins, I went to Gady, I went to Albert Einstein and we moved towards Rancho Cordova. I went to the Hiram Johnson High School, the best high school in America, in my point of view, and at both main campus and West Campus, and excelled at a very high level athletically in all three major sports there. And to go on to CRC for about a year and a half or so, graduate, go to Sac State, play there, graduate through the School of Business, and then we started the Organization of Motivated Black Men. But what it reminded me constantly is that throughout that journey, someone was always encouraging me on what I could do and give me an example of what they saw in me. Dr. Ryan Blanchett presented me with an award years ago. I was 18 years old, and it was a Distinguished Young Men in Business Award, and he is my dentist now. And we talk often about how they saw something in me. They took time to pour something back into me. And so what I was hearing from my families, what I was hearing from my church members, back when Kathy and I were in the Little Workers Guild, our children's choir, there was always someone pouring into us, telling us who we could be and what we were. And when I look at the kids now and we talk about kids of promise, I would not be sitting in executive seats and representing these major corporations, a part of major city initiatives, a part of major mental health initiatives, if it had not been for those people like my pastor, Dr. Ephraim Williams, that always took time to pour into me. And I think one of the biggest things we're challenged with now, we just hired 200 people at Search Pros for the elections in Yolo County and Sacramento County, one of the biggest election periods that we'll ever have in the history of our world. And it's very difficult to see how many that were applying for those jobs were just not responsible to be able to get to where they needed to be on time, to be able to make sure they turned in appropriate paperwork in a timely fashion. And if you go in reverse in people's lives, you can always see where that began. There was someone that did not hold someone accountable. There was someone that did not encourage people of what they could do and what they could be. And unfortunately, sometimes even now we have children raising children, because where our grandmothers may have been 55, 60 years old, these grandmothers now many times might be 33, might be 32, might be 31. So there's not enough knowledge and wisdom to pour back into, because people are just trying to survive, let alone coming out of things like the pandemic. I think one of the things when we talk about building community, I often tell people that you are your own brand. As a basketball coach, we've exceeded at a very high level with about a 3.5 GPA over the 15 years that I've been at TR Smithburg, and going into our 16th season now. And many people will say the name on the back of the jersey is not as important as the one on the front. And I don't believe that whatsoever. I think that if you get a group of people who are coming from similarly yoked households, similar principles, or just nothing else, if nothing more than just respect in general, you're going to have a winning team, whether you're victorious on the court or the field or not, because that person has values that make people better people. One of the best teams I've ever coached was a team that we found out that one of our players was being bullied. When we identified that player was being bullied, my assistant coach, Amos Holtz Jr., we had a call from the Sacramento Kings to take our team to an anti-bullying seminar. So we didn't have practice one night, so we took the kids down to the arena to go through that. The next morning, I get a phone call from two of the boys saying, "We think that DJ is dealing with this situation we learned about last night." So as a result, we called him, reached out to him. We found out he was being bullied. He was bullying to the point he was considering to take his life. He was the youngest of 5 children, I believe. The kid bullying him was about 80 pounds. DJ was about 160 pounds. So you can see how out of context he was on his value, his worth, and even his natural strength, because so much had been taken from him because of how he felt internally. From that, though, that group of kids, we committed that year to make that our anti-bullying season. So what that simply means is that we wore the yellow ribbons. We made sure that we had special cheers and chants, and we let the bullies know, you won't come and take over our campus. That was the first championship that I coached at that school, one of the for the 6 that I have now. And it was just amazing, because this is a kid that barely believed he could even compete at anything. But when he made that first basket, that basket didn't just go in for our team to win a basketball game. That basket went in reminding every parent that that could have been their child. And each year on his birthday, I reach out to DJ and tell him, I need to check to make sure you're still here. Because had it not been for a workshop, had it not been for a coach that was working with me that was insightful enough to tell us about this event, had we not been the kind of people that were caught up more into developing these young men and manhood development than we were in winning another game, we could have just had another practice like everybody else. But that particular night, that particular year, about 6 years ago, we took the time to go down there and educate these kids. And by pouring back into them, we saved one of their lives. And I'm sure many lives after that, because it changed the way the parents looked at their own kids, because we just don't look like what we're going through. Um, we talked about some of the companies I help and lead with the hiring for. We talk about companies like Boeing, like Lockheed Martin, like Kaiser, Golden One here, even our own KDE 97.5 FM. And the beauty in all this is that in helping all these companies hire and staff, I was one of the first people selected, the first African American in particular selected when we built the Pyramid downtown, which was the money store. And I covered 42 states and a part of Europe. The benefit of that was it gave me a chance to hire probably about 1,500 people, to give them an opportunity to work for one of the biggest and best corporations in the world at that time. And it springboarded so many people's opportunities. But in that, though, it was, again, that was us building community. That was us reaching back out to our own diverse populations. That was dealing with places like Asian resources, La Familia, touching with the Urban League in key areas, and giving us an opportunity to let all these organizations and corporations that were owned by people that didn't necessarily look like us realize there is great value in us if you get the right us, if you vet the right us, if you pour back into us and speak our language. A lot like my days at Kaiser when we said we can't thrive if everybody is not thriving. I remember sitting around the table when that concept was being pitched, and my point back to the organization at that time was, we cannot thrive if everybody is not thriving, but that definition is different to every person. One person's thriving is just being able to get up and be able to have something to eat that morning. The next person's being able to give some lunch money to their child to go to school. The next person is being able to just have gas money to get to work or get to a job interview. Well, because some people are making the decision, do I go to the interview or do I give this money to my child to go into a field trip? So always being in a position to help educate and humble has been very beneficial to my career, because it made my companies better companies, because it made us all better people. And even with Search Pros now being recognized as one of the best places to work, we're committed to something called the Dash that I was able to put in when I came back last March. And that simply means is, not like funerals. I know Kwame was mentioning that he puts together funeral programs. We weren't talking about just like a funeral program. We're talking about the Dash as a corporation, what we're committed to. That simply means that as we were founded, as we are in our position now, everything we do is intentionally done to make everything and everybody better, and included in the decisions that we make as a corporation. And that goes down to the people we do business with, the people we don't do business with, how much we recommend and negotiate people are paid on their hourly wages, and then how long a person actually gets to work for a company, or if we go to battle to move into another company because we think they're deserving of something even better. That's that Dash for us. And it's the things we do when nobody's around, not just when we're on camera and receiving an award. Yeah, I was looking at some things, and we talked about even as a child being taught that being guilty by association. I think about these kids now, and we look at these organizations that are pouring back into so many, and you can be guilty or successful by association. I look at many times that I could have gotten into cars and gone with where my friends were going. I had some friends that used to steal cars every Thursday night, go driving into the drive-in. I think it was out in the north area somewhere. And one particular morning, we got back to school that Friday morning, and none of the guys were there. and I couldn't figure out what had happened, but I wasn't worried about sneaking out of the house. I just knew coming back into that house, it was going to be horrible between my mother and everything else that was sprayed up in that house. I wasn't going to do that. That being said, I remember they weren't there. So we got to school. I had a conversation with my teachers, and I realized that one of my friend's dads was a police officer. He knew they had been stealing that car. And so he had an APP put out on all of them and had each of their fathers waiting for them in jail. And so their dads got to handle them the way most fathers would handle their sons for stealing in jail. One of the kids, I don't know what happened with Scooter, but I know Brian was later killed. One of the other kids got into an altercation later on in life, and he was killed. And I just looked at the importance of, grace and not being a person that could have gone down I-5 when I decided to take 99 instead. It didn't make me better than anybody. It made a choice, but it made a whole bunch of people that were praying for me too, that allowed me to progress and look back over my life and say, I could have been so many other things had it not been for a community that really wrapped their arms around me and said, like my pastor did once, I'm walking to a baseball game. He pulls over in his car and says, where are you going? I'm going to practice, Pastor. Well, come on, I'm going to practice with you. And he knew that's where I was going, but he wanted me to know that his eyes were on me too. And I'll never forget people that have done that. And I try to do the same in my own career now. One of the things I want to share with you as I get closer to concluding is that I often will tell people, build a bridge and get over yourself. And what that simply means is sometimes we've got to get out of our own way. We can't go in and say that just every person that doesn't look like us is against us. That's not true. I'll be very candid that I think my feelings have been hurt more by people that look like me, both corporately and personally, than people that didn't look like me for one reason or the other. And that's from childhood to adulthood. But what it taught me was everything that looks like you is not for you. But there's a lot of great people that look just like you that are excellent. And I enjoy thriving in excellence like I am on this conference today, because there's some people on here that obviously care about what they do. They care about who they do it for. They're very intentional and they're not apologetic whatsoever. And so I'm very grateful to be in the midst of many of you like that today too. I'll share something very briefly. We talked to some of the boys about choice and change and how you have to watch out for your own. I went to school with a young man named Dwayne. When we were in high school at Hiram Johnson, and Dwayne was older than I. And I remember he was going to go to the Air Force Academy on a football scholarship in a matter of weeks. And there was a kid that went on our campus, I think his name was Gary, was more of a bully and would beat up people from time to time, would just start drinking, wait for you at the elementary school. If you walk by, he just beat people up. Well, this particular day, he beat up Dwayne, and Dwayne didn't like it. And so he ran home. He got his dad's gun. He came back to the school, chased Gary all the way home, and shot him until he died on his front porch. I remember asking, this is how young I was. I said, but what about grad night and his scholarship? They've got to let him out of jail so he can go on and go to college. And one of my teachers said, Ronnie, he won't be going to college that way. And I think it was 20 years later that he was finally released. But I look back over my life's journey and I'm grateful for the things I'm doing and have been able to do. But I always look back to say that if I had just made some of the decisions some of the other people made, or maybe if somebody was not pouring into me in my community and identifying the fact to help me understand that I was a child of promise, my life could have been substantially different. So one thing I think I say is that when I look at each of the parents that may be on, the administrators, the organizations that are on, that are representing different places, build that bridge, get over yourself, and keep watching out for the ones that are coming behind us because they need us. It is different than now. The points of view are different. They get to say a lot more than we did. I'm from Tennessee. You said some things, you just get popped in the mouth. People try to listen a lot more now, and I'm leading a lot of mental health initiatives, and I know the importance of giving people a voice. But I think also that I've learned, even with my own kids, they watch you much more than they listen to you. I never got tattoos. I never wore an earring when my kids were young or when they were first in college or anything else, because I didn't want them to think that that's what constituted what a man was. A man needed to be responsible and available and accountable on a regular basis. And it helped them, and I'm hoping in a lot of ways it helped them realize some good values. And in some of the things that I'm imperfect at too, hopefully they watch some of those and they can make themselves better in their lives as a result as well. So I would definitely encourage you to keep doing that. And then last couple of points is that as a coach, I try to remind folks there's victory and loss. You're not going to win everything, but the greatest people make adjustments and they come out better than ever before. And I think that one thing we teach our team is that as you shake their hands when you lose, when you win, you shake their hand the same way when you lose, but you take a mental picture. And if you don't like it, you go back and fix those things. Because for us, traditionally, we've never lost to the same team twice in 1 year. And in life, I try to teach my own kids, you are not going to cry at the end of a loss and celebrate when you win. That's not what real life is about. And so if we take the time to pour back into our community, pour back into these kids, keep encouraging these parents that are doing the best that they possibly can, things are going to continue to get better. And even in the midst of an election year that's so electrifying right now, and we don't know how it's all going to come out, but however it comes out, if we bond together tight enough and keep celebrating what Black excellence really is and holding each other accountable, one person at a time, starting with you, it's going to make us, it's going to put us in a place that no matter what occurs, there's no one that can touch us but us if we're together and for each other. So I thank you guys so much for the opportunity to come on today. This is very honorable. I look forward to this conversation. And if I can answer any questions at this time, I'll be happy to do that. But God bless and thank you so much.
Well, that was empowering, that was informative, and I hope everyone has received great information about the resources that are right here in our community to support families, support children. We are the hope that everyone's been looking for, and we have the resources. So we do have on the screen, you'll see we have the websites for all of our presenters. So that information is there. If you'd like to leave an email address in the chat, we'll make sure that you get that those resources so that you can go back and look at all the services that are provided here in our communities for our family. And I just want to take the time to thank all of our speakers for giving up their time on Saturday to come and share about all of the services that they do. I also want to thank our phenomenal MC, Ms. Dale Sales Owen, our door prize coordinator, Kathy Wilson, our behind the scenes tech person, Tech Pro, Anthony Young, and all of our planning committee members, which include Deborah Bonner, Kathy Wilson, Cheryl Hughes, Diana Kroon-White, Marie Napper, Dale Sales Owen, Odette Crawford, and Norma Ivy. We are excited about the opportunity to invite you to come on and be a part of the Black Child Development Institute. We are part of a national organization that has over 25 chapters and affiliates that you can come and join us in this work. We are unashamedly about our Black children and families. So if you'd like more information about the Black Child Development Institute, the Sacramento chapter, please go to our website, www.bcdisacramento.org, and you will find information about our chapter. I also wanted to say that of the 10 speakers that were here today, 5 of them are organizations that we partner with through our Read to Succeed program. We partnered with them with our Entering the College Zone when we were doing the Entering College Zone and the DIVA conference, as well as other initiatives and the initiatives that they've had. So now we have 5 more to get connected with and to partner, because it does take partnership to make that stronger impact on our communities. So we invite you to come and be a part of BCDI Sacramento. And so with that, I just want to again thank you for giving up your time on a Saturday to come and receive information. We know that we can't do this alone, even as parents, even as grandparents, even as teachers, as foster parents, as caregivers, in whatever capacity that is. We need support. We need help. You know, it is the village, even though that can become a cliche. But as you've heard, we need each other. We need support in order to raise children of promise. Please look forward to joining us next year for our 25th Children of Promise Conference. And we're hoping and praying that that one will be in person, taking us back to our beginnings, our roots, where we met at the Sam and Bonnie Purnell Center and had a time to just present information, but also to fellowship with each other and to have vendor tables there with all of these wonderful organizations. And so please keep a watch for information about our 25th Children of Promise Conference coming up, along with other events that we'll be doing throughout the year. We look forward to having you be with us on this journey to create Children of Promise. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.